That's going on all the time. But that battle is life itself. That battle between what's good and bad, what you like and what you don't like. It's a continual. And so some people say, look, all this oscillation. I just want peace. You know, I just want everything to be still, because all of this is suffering, and I don't think it's the word suffering is the right word.
Yeah, sorry, it's suffering again that's designed by other human beings that you have no choice over, that have to live in. And not only that, your family, your children and their children and their children are condemned to live into this horror. Because most people in the world live barely without enough food to live.
Right.
That's not suffering which enlightens the mind. That's suffering which concentrates the mind on hatred, spies in the world, and not being able to embody the world as one of beauty, a relationship which is
I'm going to have something more to say when I get over there.
Another human being has decided that food, you're not having it. What I'll have it is in a big warehouse and let it rot.
Right.
Because literally that's what happens right now. Someone decides that food ain't going nowhere over there. We don't want our prices in Europe or America to crash. So we'll hold on to that food and have it rot. Rather than actually contribute to the betterment of society. And by the way, there are people in Europe going hungry. You don't come in lighter because you're hungry, or someone's coming in and murdering you. Murdering as in a war. That's not enlightenment. There's no enlightenment when you're watching your mum being raped by a soldier. That's not suffering to enlighten.
Anybody suggesting that is.
Well, which is good, but what I'm saying, referring back to your point earlier, saying you've just got to live the moment and overcome your suffering.
Okay, you've got to leave that share there, because
and overcome your suffering. There's a profound danger from an individual saying that to the actual reality that 99.9% of the people on this planet actually live, which is horrific poverty, imposed by another human being that says your poverty is my fucking wealth, and I do that.
Right. So the point you're making then, those people that you're talking about, it could be from their understanding of what happiness is. So some people might think, in order for me to be happy, I have to see somebody else unhappy. I have to impose unhappiness in order to be happy, and they don't really see any other way of being happy, because there's no what model will you say, look, listen, there's no need to abuse these people in order to be happy. You can do this to be happy. So what would you say? What would you say to a person like that? What would be the alternative?
Well, we have prisons.
Okay.
And if you murder people, and it should be if you go up to someone and call and exactly, they should go to prison. The law shouldn't of murder should just
call it defence, and they have a military, but it's essentially murder.
Yeah, the murder should not just be related to the poor in this world. It should also be related to the rich of this world. It shouldn't be one law for the poor and another law for the rich, because government is compounded with the rich, not the people. And so they design the law to make sure they're above the law at all times. And they do this through reference and justification of religion. This is their use of religion. They use religion saying, oh look, it's not me creating the law, but you're always poor, and I'm always above it. I'm talking to God, and God says, I'm fucking glorious and divine. In fact, I'll buy myself a big golden chair while everyone dines upon absolute nothing and vacuous emptiness. That's the exact example of the political construct in England and Europe and other parts of the world. It's wrong.
So you could say that the last thing a government, let's say Western Hemisphere, would want is an enlightened people.
Bingo.
They would, absolutely. Yeah.
Bingo.
But one thing I'd add to what you're saying, I think is where I disagree, is that I don't think that those rich people actually are safe. Wealth and riches doesn't actually guarantee safe, because all it is they have high quality hitmen. You know, they can take you out. You know, so if another rich person wants to take out another rich person, they take you out. It's just as dangerous.
If that was true, then you wouldn't have one rich family whose family line extends back hundreds, if not thousands of years of rulership. We have families in Europe that family line extends back politically ownership of Europe hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years.
The Tsars in Russia, that royal family, they're related to the royal family. Look what happened to the whole family got wiped out.
No, the Tsars got murdered because of a radical group of people that wasn't royal related. But yes, rich people do kill each other, but it's the rich people that still end up winning. So yeah, occasionally someone can get killed off, but it's not the poor that wins in that scenario. Though it shouldn't be a fight, by the way. I'm not implying that there's a fight. I'm just merely describing history that I completely do not conform to, or suggest it's absolutely not the way we do forward. But the rich do kill off, but it's the rich that win.
Take a photo now.
If they win, and at the end of the day, they have the wars, they design the weapons, and so they give you the weapons. Here's a weapon. Now go and kill him. There you go, mate. You've done my enshroud me into my golden chair once again for another century.
So it's also important that government, so let's say Western Hemisphere, it's important they always have an enemy out there, right? And there's always conflict and war.
Bingo.
Right? Yeah.
Absolutely. Because without that, you can't radicalise your base. You need to get your base, i.e. the working class, to be radicalised to hate another people. So you have to have war or conflict. And look at the last war. Most of the wars in the last 100 years have been completely false flag wars. You know what a false flag is? Vietnam War, false flag. There was an alleged attack on an American boat, I think. Yeah, which was completely manufactured, but yet triggered the mass slaughter of a completely innocent country that had no idea it was involved in a mass slaughter. And then when they defended themselves, they were regarded as the enemy. Radicalisation. And they were radicalised to hate the West, so therefore they hated the West. And yet the West had no choice in the wars of the rich. When we do walk in the street, say, fucking don't go to Iraq, that's insane. The politicians go, fuck you, this ain't a democracy, mate.
Right.
This is a dictatorship.
Right.
And we are going to war so we can radicalise Muslims, and they can come over here years later and bomb us. And then the newspapers can go, oh, look what the Muslims doing, bombing us, they're mad. Hang on, there was a fucking Iraq war where some rich white kids of religious origin went over there to not only slaughter a load of Muslims, but also to fucking steal their oil.
Right.
Bingo.
I think they love that. I think they love ISIS. They love this threat of terror because it allows them to control us through fear, right?
Yeah.
We need our government to protect us. We look to our government now to protect us and keep us safe. They love that. It's not been manufactured though. If they didn't, they certainly would.
It's not our government. I don't mind you using the phrase government,
Right.
but I do mind you saying our. Because if it was our, then we'd actually have some power over the country. No. We had a choice between one Oxbridge white boy or another Oxbridge white boy, and the newspapers are owned by those fucking Oxbridge white boys.
We had
That is not choice.
We had that situation a few years ago where the leaders of the three main parties were all one and the same guy. They went to the same school, same university, did the same course.
That's today, mate.
Miliband, Clegg and Cannon.
And that is today.
Well, yeah.
They got rid of Jeremy Corbyn, who was different and not part